And we can say that the adjustment turned out perfectly by adjusting the zigzag stitch on our sewing machine. Well, in this video I'm going to show you how to adjust your sewing machine so it can sew the zigzag stitch without any problems. I'm going to explain to you why your sewing machine isn't making a zigzag stitch and then how to fix it step by step. We can clearly see that this is exactly how the zigzag stitch should appear. We set the machine to its widest setting and it should look like this, which is the final seam. We can observe how it's currently stitching for us. This phenomenon is known as a skipped stitch, and we absolutely need to adjust the sewing machine, specifically the bar height or the bobbin case, so that it can properly sew the zigzag stitch without encountering any problems whatsoever. Before we start, I highly recommend that you watch until the very end of the video, so you don't miss any crucial adjustments and ensure your sewing machine is perfectly set up. Now, it's essential to remember that for your machine to sew a perfect zigzag stitch, we absolutely need to ensure that it's correctly adjusted, specifically regarding the height of the needle bar and the precise setting of the hook mechanism. The first thing we need to do is set the needle bar to the correct height. We'll remove the needle bar cover. On some machines the screw is here, on others it's in the back. We lower the cover completely with a Phillips head screwdriver and with the screw we're going to lower this component, which allows us to clearly see the entire system where we'll be making the adjustment to the needle bar. Next, we'll proceed to remove this specific part and then we'll carefully take out the bobbin case with its bobbin still inside. After that, we'll remove the spreaders, lower the hook retainer, and finally, we will lower the hook itself.
We lower the needle bar so the needle reaches its absolute lowest point.
We'll position the needle at its absolute lowest point and then we're going to carefully examine the following. We can clearly observe that the needle is descending much too far. This indicates it's improperly adjusted and consequently it will lead to skipped stitches, whether you're doing straight sewing or even a zigzag stitch. Now, we can clearly see the hole. The perfect ideal height for the needle bar on your Singer sewing machine is when that hole reaches precisely up to this specific part right here. This component is what we call the feeder. The hole must be in the middle of this section here. That would be the proper height for the needle bar and it will sew perfectly for us. Now, how are we going to do it? We are going to loosen the screw that holds the needle bar in the upper part. Here, we're going to find the screw that holds the needle bar in place. It's a hexagonal screw and we'll loosen it with this number 2 Allen wrench. We have the wrench and we loosen the screw by turning it to the left. Once it's loose, we'll go to the bottom section to lift the bar, ensuring the adjustment is perfect. With the screw already loose, we'll grab the bar and raise it, following the adjustment we just mentioned. That the hole splits our impeller component in two. Here we can clearly see that the needle bar's height is now perfectly set. Now we'll go to the top part and retighten the screw that holds the needle bar in place. Without letting the needle bar move, drop down or rise up, insert the key and tighten the screw clockwise. Now manually we'll turn the hand wheel several and we can see that when the needle is at its absolute lowest position, the eye of the needle now reaches this specific point and it won't descend any further. This is the correct and proper height for the needle bar. This way, the needle bar height adjustment for your sewing machines is perfectly set. Now, we're going to proceed with adjusting the hook. Now we'll loosen this screw, this, and then we'll take off this cover. Then we'll loosen this screw and remove this cover. Next, we'll proceed to remove the back cover and we can see that we'll loosen this screw and this one and all the top ones. We'll start first with the ones on the Next, we'll deal with these two at the top. Then this screw, we lift to keep the fabric from coming loose, and this screw will only loosen it, we won't remove it entirely. We'll loosen it a little and then we can take this cover off. Move the back cover a bit. She comes here with some little catchy things that make you want to move. Go ahead and loosen it and we'll see how it comes out. Now that our machine is behind, we're going to locate this part. This is the gear that holds the shuttle, which has two screws we must loosen. Here's one screw and here's the second. We need to loosen both a bit to move the shuttle and set its timing, which I'll show you next. Right now, before I explain the next step to you, which is the hook timing adjustment, we're going to set the machine to its widest zigzag stitch, to the largest setting, because this particular adjustment is always performed with the largest zigzag. Let's go over the following point. First of all, we need to make sure that the furthest point between this, which is the tip of the hook, and the needle's notch, that is just above the eye. At this moment, the needle is on its right-hand descent. So let's observe, we turn the hand wheel as we normally would, and we can see that the tip is passing below the eye. Here the machine is out of adjustment due to the hook's timing, and it will give us skipped stitches or it simply won't sew. The hook's tip, when it is on the right-hand descent, should pass above the eye, more or less around here at this specific point. So we can see the crab is behind. We keep turning the hand wheel and it keeps going past the bottom. So we need to adjust that part. We turn the hand wheel and we see that on the left drop it goes above the eye. Here on the left drop the machine can work well, but on the right drop, which is the farthest point, we see that it will always pass below the eye, so the machine will definitely give us problems when sewing. Therefore we must loosen the screws at the back of the gear and advance it just a little bit so that the tip passes higher than the eye. So let's go to the back and loosen those two screws.
Using a number 2 Allen key, we're going to proceed to loosen the very first screw. We'll just loosen it up a little bit. Then we'll turn the flywheel around until we find the other screw, and we'll also loosen that one up slightly.
Not that one. We loosen it. Now let's move to the front. Alright, the screws are loose now. What's next? Since it's behind, we need to advance the shuttle hook. We'll take it out, and since the screws are a bit loose, we'll apply some force to this part of the feeder holding the hand wheel so we can advance the shuttle hook. There, we moved it. We're going to lift up the crab mechanism and then we'll carefully turn the hand wheel. And we see that it fits us perfectly there. We can observe by turning the hand wheel that the needle's tip goes above the eye of the needle, which is indeed the ideal measurement. In this manner, we ensure the machine catches the stitch at the needle's furthest downward point, meaning the widest possible stitch, but specifically on its right-hand descent. Once our machine is set up like this, we then proceed to the back and securely tighten the screws. Without this adjustment shifting, we turn it back, we move this piece slightly forward and tighten the first screw. Let's tighten the first screw, making sure it doesn't come out of alignment. As you can see, it's slightly out, so we need to push it slightly forward and tighten the screw. Once it's properly tightened, without applying too much force so that it doesn't spin or turn, then we continue with the second one. And we see that it fits well. If we turn the steering wheel, we see it moves smoothly. Now we'll go to the front to verify that the steering component hasn't shifted, and it turned out perfectly, just as we did it previously. We check, we turn the steering wheel, remember the right turn, and we turn the steering wheel. And we can see that the adjustment worked out well. We can see that the crab's tip is passing above the eye. We keep turning the steering wheel, left lane, it passes higher. On the left lane, it can pass much higher than normal. Once again, we return to the right path and we can see it still passes exactly the same way right over the eye. Now we proceed to place the covers and the crab's body. We'll start by placing the cover on the back part.
In this way we make certain that this particular section right here, it properly fits into the tooth plate. Then we place the in this particular way, and we are able to see these different sides.
And we can see that it catches. We then tighten this screw, applying a bit of steady pressure and gently secure it, but not too tightly. It should remain in this position. Next we turn it over. And then we install the screws into the upper section. Now we are going to proceed with installing the needle bar. We will now proceed to the lower section. We will first place this component right here in this manner. We're going to put the screw in. We then proceed to place that specific part, which is installed in this particular way.
This one is meant to be placed right here. This one, the slightly longer piece, it should go right here in this section. And the other one is meant for the bottom part.
We will now proceed to place the components of the crab assembly. First we'll install the crab's retainer, one and then two, and then we'll proceed to put the bobbin case in place, with its bobbin already inside.
And it has to click.
And we're closing up now. And just like that, our machine is ready after making all the pertinent adjustments so our sewing machine can properly stitch the sisal seam. We're going to place the very same fabric and then we'll test it out. We turn the fabric over and then we look. And here we can see the final result of our sewing machine's work. You can see this is the stitching it produced before, and here we can observe the very last stitch, which is this one right here. And we can see that the adjustment was absolutely perfect after fine-tuning the sisal stitch on our sewing machine. This is exactly how the sisal stitching should appear. And if we turn it over to the reverse side, here we can see how the stitch turns out, which is a truly beautiful stitch. This is exactly how the armhole stitch should look on our sewing machine, and the machine should always create it this way without any skipped stitches. So my friends, did you enjoy this video? It's very important to us. Please support us with a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in our next video.